Here we are at the West Quincy Locomotive and Machine Works, also known as Tom Bonomi's house. We got these very special valves. They're special because 10 years ago I went and basically rebuilt the whole Oil Burner and Fresnel lens drive system for the people in the Bahamas at the Elbow Reef Light Station. Annie Potts and Kent Laboutelier, Super Kent, and Jeff, the keeper, and Jackson, the other keeper, and Jameson, and we were all there together. We had a great old time, but the time has come for me to do their valves again. And what these are the kerosene oil valves for the oil burner, the IOV burner in the lens. And these are really interesting because they're British Admiralty. They were for the export, like colonial stations, not in the British Isles where they knew that they couldn't get like the full support of an English keeper in a machine shop, Trinity House and such. So these are continuously renewable valve seats. They're filled with soft solder. They're a pot of soft solder that sits on top of the valve stem. It free floats. So when the time comes to reseat the valve, all you do is you melt the solder. Like here's an extremely badly worn example, but you remelt the solder after it's been mushed a few thousand times in service, being closed against the brass or bronze seat. You remelt it, you flatten it, you wipe the slag off, and if necessary, you rotary polish it on a lathe, and away you go. But these valves here, they also need a lot of remedial work. We got a lot of stuck valves. They all need to be repacked. Some of them have bent stems, and there's one here that has a missing nut to hold the handle on. So we're going to manufacture a new nut. So once you're through the remelting process and you level it off, there was a little bit less than I would have liked. The solder should be slightly proud of the brass surface, so I added some. We just melted some of the proper alloy in there. But I like to dress the face afterward, even though the real work is done when you close the valve and you mush the solder against the valve seat. I like to dress them anyway. So that's what we are doing with each and every one of these. This valve stem was so rusted up, it was jammed in the packing gland, so I had to go after that with emery paper, try to get it a little cleaner. But we're going to video the process as it happens for you. So here's a before and after. All right, this is when we just got done. And here is the worst of the bunch, essentially, because it's got everything wrong with it that can be wrong with it. The packing's shot, but the packing's shot in all of them, so we're going to be repacking it. This handle, for some reason, is the most chewed up thing I've ever seen. It looks like someone just took a Stilson and grabbed it absolutely everywhere. The seat is completely mushed, worn in, and it's also seized. The valve actually doesn't rotate. So we got to solve all the different problems. And the seat, which should be free floating, right, like this, on the stem, seat is jammed. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to remelt and repool the solder. Very gently chuck that up in the vise. And we're going to get that on a low fire. And we're going to get our cylindrically faced pliers. We've got all the special tools here. So we're going to remelt this solder. And at the same time, we're going to release either the solder or the rust, whichever it is that's holding this solder pot to the stem. So we've got liquid solder there. And while we're heating it, let's see if we can tease it into motion. There we go. Look at that. So now we have the solder pot, which is also the valve seat, rotating freely on the valve stem. You can see that. And then what we're going to do, I'm going to take my copper pick and we're going to skim the slag. Very, very carefully. Now, we want that solder level to be right up to the top of the pot, so I'm going to take this, which is the same alloy. We're going to add a couple of drops. And that was a bit dirty on the solder, so we're going to have to skim the slag again. There. And now as it's cooling, I'm going to keep rotating it so that when it cools, the solder does not rebond it to the valve stem. Now there's a very clever way that they do that. The inside of this pot that you cannot see is actually threaded on its inner diameter. And there's a little cap that screws actually inside of there. So before you actually fill it with solder at all, you screw that down inside almost to the very end where there's a little bit of free space where the mushroom-shaped end of this valve stem goes. So that's what provides you the empty space that the solder should not go into when you then fill the space above the screw, which is also an internal lid with solder. That process was pretty successful. I now have the end of the valve stem, which is the renewable valve seat, is spinning freely and able to articulate very slightly on the end. All right, so, and we have new solder, which is above the level of the brass wall, so we'll go and rotary dress it on the lathe, but first we're going to dismantle the packing gland. All right, all the old packing is gone. We're going to come back later and repack that. We are now going to go and rotary dress this, clean it up on the lathe. The first of many polishing stages on this pitted up, rusty valve stem is going to be good old-fashioned emery paper. Thank God for collets. This is just to get the really, really rough stuff off. Now we're going to get it out of this collet. Come on, winning combinations in there somewhere. Now we're gonna get it out of this collet, and we're gonna put it in a bigger one right up to this seat, and it's gonna have just enough friction to stop it from spinning. And once we make sure there's no run out, pretty good. If I eyeball it to the way. Now that new solder that we just put in is going to clean up so nicely. And that's why I added solder, so it would be proud of the brass face, so we're not cutting any brass, only solder. And I don't see any bubbles or voids in there, which is really just stupendous, because sometimes there is, and then you either have to cut deeper, or if it's too deep, you have to go and add more solder. And there you go. Isn't that just so nice? And then we're going to bring it down so it doesn't have that jagged edge all the way around, just for housekeeping. The valve actually won't care, but I don't like things looking that way. So we'll keep going with that until we're perfect. That, and then we're just going to polish the outside just so it looks good. But that is the stem actually mostly finished, except for a final polishing on this part where it goes into the packing gland. And then we'll go back over there. See, still free to spin. Mm-hmm. Now, if I wanted to... Okay. So we've done the stem, we've done the body, and I'm going to show you how Tommy's getting the nicks out of these things, because some of these were really abused with wrenches that didn't fit or something. So we're going to cut our packing rings. I'm just going to put one in the video. And we'll use the pusher, wherever that is.
In the
vinegar?
Yeah.
In the vinegar, this guy, presumably. Yeah. No, that's, here we go. All right, so we're just going to do that 5 more times with 5 more rings. For some reason, as is the case with every brass or bronze valve I've ever had to fix, whether it's off a steam engine or something else, every single person that handled it before, I guess, for some reason felt compelled to abuse it with every wrench that didn't fit and Stilson wrenches and who knows what else. So Tommy here is very diligently filing away all the burrs and horrible things caused by that. It's completely unnecessary for the valve to work, but I don't care because I was taught by guys like this and a lot older than this, most of whom are dead now, to never, I'm appalled whenever I see something like that, and I have to get rid of it. It's absolutely, it makes me nauseous to see that. So it has to go away as a matter of pride and a matter of proper workmanship. And Tommy's better at it than me at the moment. So these are British, very, very British valves. Instead of just a packing gland that screws in, they actually have a separate pusher, right? So the pusher pushes the packing ring in, and then this nut pushes the gland in itself. This pusher is the gland. So before I put 5 new rings of packing in there, we're going to oil it. I put a little drop of oil on between every single new ring. No need to be afraid of over-oiling. You can't over-oil. We'll put that gland in. We'll put the nut in. We'll push it on. Check to make sure how far it went in. That's a good amount. Now we have room to tighten it down more in the future. You never want to push it all the way down. You just really want it just a little bit beyond 2-finger tight. Now the handles, the squares in these, now we're going to address this a little bit later, this chewed up handle, but the squares in these are always tapered. You never want to put it on the reverse way. So we're going to make sure we put the big end down, but this handle is very, very worn out. So there's your taper the right way. Here's your nut, and that's one reassembled valve. Now we're going to polish it, get rid of the burrs, make it look nice. That's done.